It is difficult. It is not efficient. It is. I tend to lose money. Because my phone is internet-based, I now have not had a phone for a month.
Yeah.
So people who are calling me, sorry guys, I'm not ignoring you. I'm just, Verizon says I can't talk to you. And
Welcome back to the Healthy Business Podcast. I'm Ty King with American Business Engine, and with me as always,
Jessica Tolliver with Cam Collaborative.
How are you?
Well, I'm going to live in the moment. And in the moment, I am thinking about what you said right before we started recording, which is how professionals project their voice.
Yes.
So I'm overthinking my speech.
Oh, okay. Yes. Yeah. Same here. I'm not trained or having a radio background like we were talking about. Like people, it's the difference when you get a professional behind the microphone and then seeing me, because I'm just like, I'm chaos. You know what I mean? My voice is not steady and in line. It sort of jumps up and down. It goes all over the place. And then I never stay on track to what I'm supposed to be talking about. And sometimes we circle back around and get to the point.
Sometimes I believe that's part of the charm of our podcast is that we aren't very linear. We follow that ADD entrepreneurial mindset, which is
true.
What we share with a lot of entrepreneurs. My concern is to make sure that I speak more levelly.
Yeah.
Is that a word? More level.
More levelly.
More levelly. Levelly. And have a good outcome in post. So that is my goal for today, is to listen to this podcast and find out, am I spitting? Am I jumping in volume and tone? Am I level? Am I clear?
For sure.
We'll see.
And I'm trying to learn more about the tools of sound, like even those things out. I'm learning. I've got good teachers now that are teaching me how to do these things, and video. And so like working on video. So we're recording in a different way now that we're going to be, hopefully the effects are evident, you know what I mean? When people watch this on YouTube and they're like, oh, that one looks so much better than what they've been doing.
It's definitely been a progress. And I do love that we started before we were ready.
Yeah.
I love that we said, okay, we're just going to do this.
Yeah.
And we started out with 2 school desks and a white background, and it was awful. And
I remember that. I was going through over the weekend, just going back through our feed and like looking at the
sounded like we were both sitting in a tin can.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think we were even using, I don't know, our phone mics or something. We didn't have these for a couple of episodes. And it's definitely been a progression. I mean, we've done changes with the wall. We've done changes with the sound. I've added some more soundproofing. We have our little sound booth now. There's been, I think that's part of it, because we were actually just talking about your podcasting nonprofit. And a lot of people that are going to be looking to podcasting are going to come to this particular podcast to see what we're doing.
Right.
And that is part of it. It's the progression of, you don't have to wait until you're perfectly ready, because you may never be perfectly ready, because technology will change.
Yeah.
Different things become available. And we're living proof that you can do a podcast without a pretty desk or good microphones.
For sure.
And maybe when we make more than 68 cents, we'll buy something nice.
Yes, we're working on that too. Like I told you, Spotify had their big, stream marathon thing that they had going on. It was like an hour long. But anyways, it was them basically making like Steve Jobs type of announcements of like the next big thing.
Yeah.
And then one more thing is, and then they bring out somebody else and talk about whatever it is. But yeah, man, lots of opportunity for podcasters, especially with Spotify right now. They just changed. So Anchor is how we usually upload our episodes, and it gets distributed to all and everything else. So Spotify already bought that. We already knew that. But now they've changed the name of it. It's no longer Anchor. As of that stream, they changed the name to Spotify for Podcasters.
Okay, that's smart.
Yeah.
I like that.
So, and it's tied into, like I have a different type of Spotify now, because it's aimed towards us and helping our show grow, which is pretty interesting. And now people can like directly message us through buttons, and
so
as they're listening to the
test
episode.
This.
Yeah. If you're listening to this, for sure, there should be a button if you're listening on Spotify anyway that says ask a question, or I leave the standard one on there where it was like, what do you think about the show? And you just you hit that button, and then you're able to type out your thoughts.
So hit the button and let us know if the button works.
Yeah,
there you go.
For sure. Yeah.
If you're not sure what to ask, just say, hey, button worked.
There are tons and tons and tons of tools, and Spotify is really honing in on the video portion of this. You know, like we were talking about how, you know, they have allowed for video content to be uploaded to Spotify. Well, now they're really focusing on that, even on the home screen, so to make it more discoverable. You know, kind of like when you go to YouTube and like you have these videos that are suggested for you. Well, they're doing the same thing for your home screen on Spotify now.
Nice. Cool.
Yeah. So there's a lot of stuff, a lot of big stuff that we're going to really milk for everything we can. Yeah.
Well, I think a lot of it's beta testing and figuring out what works and what doesn't. And we can do product testing here and say, hey, go to Spotify. Sure. Or, you know what? Steer clear of Bob's audio podcast platform, whatever that may be.
Yeah, for sure. So you know what? Today I wanted to ask you some things. I know you've been going through some issues, right?
Issues, yes.
But you're the type of person. I think you've got an interesting perspective because I don't know. When I went through an entrepreneurship class, they taught us that there's basically 3 different levels to your business, and you're one of 3 phases. And so phase 1 is your beginning. You're trying to figure it out, what you're going to provide, who your clients are, and all that stuff. And then like it's a climb upward. But the phase 2 is when you're comfortable. You've got your base clientele. You've got enough money to support you in whatever it is you're doing, your lifestyle. Nothing too extravagant or anything like that. But like you try just staying evenly. You're up in the air and you're trying to float at an even level. And that never works.
Correct.
Because eventually you will crash. If you don't change, you're going to crash.
Well, that even level is the unobtainable.
Yeah.
There's no unicorn that's an even level.
Right.
They're spinning plates.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. So you can't do the same things you've been doing the same way you've been doing them for years and years and years and years and expect that to work for you. So you've got to be innovative to phase 3, which is like changing up some things that you do. And I think that's where you're really good at coming in and having ideas of, hey, you know what, you should do this. And it's like, okay, well, I never thought about that before. And so right now you're having issues with your internet.
Understatement. And yes.
Yes. So for you as a business owner, how dependent are you on like being able to access the internet to run your business?
So it's twofold. I can run the business very lean, streamlined without internet, with minimal internet. In order to do, obviously, credit card processing, you have to be able to access that, and that has been a challenge. However, I can make it work. It is difficult. It is not efficient. It is. I tend to lose money. Because my phone is internet-based, I now have not had a phone for a month.
Yeah.
So people who are calling me, sorry, guys. I'm not ignoring you. I'm just, Verizon says I can't talk to you. And I am missing out on a lot of emails because I can't get them in a timely manner and respond to them or log into the portal in order to so there's a lot of things that aren't getting done. And I'm able to do the bare minimum. So my clients are getting service. They're getting the services that they're paying for, or I get to bill them for eventually. And I'm able to take care of that. And because my business is well established, and most of my appointments are reoccurring or scheduled in advance, I'm not having a whole lot of difficulty with that. But I have absolutely minimal ability to take on new clients. I can't access client files, so I can't see what we did the last time. I have to go off memory. Now, granted, I do have a pretty good memory, and I have a pretty good relationship with most of my clients, so a lot of that does come back. But because I am very high-tech and internet-based, it's been a challenge.
Yes.
And one of the things I found out, which is interesting, a lot of so I have video cameras and biometric door locks and things of that nature because I do have a lot of equipment here. And I have my internet and my cell phone bundled. And at one point, a couple of weeks ago, when we were having these troubles, I was on the phone with the technician and I said, we're having these problems. I'm doing the resets, blah, blah, blah. He says, okay, no problem. Shuts off my cell phone. Yeah, that was fun. And fun fact, you can't unlock the door with your cell phone if you don't have cell service because it won't do anything.
Yeah.
So, good thing I had a backup. I was able to use my actual normal code and things. I couldn't set any new codes. I couldn't get any. I do a lot of digital codes where I let people come into the podcasting room and I don't have to be here to set the code. I let them have that. Couldn't do any of those new things. So luckily that only lasted for a couple of days and then they turned it back on. But yeah, it's been a struggle. And in this day and age, I don't know many ways to get around that.
Yeah.
We are an internet-based society.
Of course.
So yeah, I think the question was, how am I doing?
Well, we were talking about like, so yeah, of course, just you sort of explained it right there, where it's like, how dependent are you on the internet? Well, depend on it for billing, but also, like you said, security and being able to get into your own door and all kinds of different things. And so they turned it on, and then it doesn't work again, right?
Right. I had it for a week, so I was able to catch up my billing, which was great because now I can afford to pay the bill for the internet that I don't have.
Yes. And
that was really frustrating. But I can't update my website. I can't do social media marketing. I can't do, again, following up on people that are contacting me through the website, people that are contacting me through email, I can't do any of that because I have to be here to work and I can't access all the things I normally access while I'm here. I run a school and I can't upload the curriculum for the students next week. I'm having to wait till they come in and hand them paper. So there's been a lot of challenges for sure.
Okay. Well, I won't name the company or anything like that or call them out, you know what I mean? Just put so going back to what you're good at, what would you suggest for this company that is providing this, they've got your phone plan, but they're providing you internet service, right? And so your experience, obviously the bare minimum was, hey, give me some internet because I paid for internet, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But what are some things that they could improve on to improve their business?
Well, I do want to say that they have had really positive customer service. Now, I don't want to say really good.
Okay.
Because I obviously still have not been helped. However, every person I've gotten on the phone has been very kind and very genuinely, they seem to care that there's a problem and they are working within their parameters. It's just frustrating that I have to go through all the introductory people, all the level 1s to get to the level 2s, to get to the level 3s every time I pick up the phone.
Right.
So having an ability to go straight to that level 3 would be helpful. I mean, I'm fine with going through all of the steps, even though I did them before I called, because I do have a technical background. Mm-hmm. I'm fine going through all the steps because that has to be done. They have to make sure that I reset and unplugged and did the thing. But once I get a ticket number, I should be able to just skip all that.
Yeah.
And I can't, which is irritating.
Right.
However, I do want to say that the reason I'm with them, and I'm starting to maybe think about regretting that. However, the reason I changed from the last service provider I had was because they were double billing me.
Okay.
And when I got online with customer service, I said, you're pulling this fee for service out of 2 different business accounts. Like, you're billing me twice for the same service because I am looking at my bank statement and you're pulling this money out of it because I don't want to pay my bills. I want the bills to be paid. I just want, here's the money, go get it, whatever. But I do check it because mistakes happen. And I kid you not, the customer service lady, I'm talking to her, I said, I need this to be taken care of. She says, you're not being double billed. I say, I am being double billed. She said, you're not being double billed. I said, I am looking at my bank statement. I am being double billed. She said, I'm feeling very triggered in this conversation.
She said that she was feeling very
She
triggered.
was. I'm just like, I really try hard not to be an offensive person, and I know I'm fast and I'm abrupt and I have a million ideas coming out of my face 24/7, and it can be intimidating. But literally, because I told her at one point, I said, I hear you that you can't help me, and I understand that this is not in your wheelhouse. Can you please transfer me to a supervisor? And she's like, I'm feeling very triggered in this conversation. I'm feeling unsafe. I'm like,
Unsafe.
What state are you in? Because it's not this one.
I don't even know where you live.
Right? I don't. Yeah. You could have given me a false name. You probably should.
You probably did.
And that's fine. I don't care. I don't even need to reference you. Can you please just transfer me? And I mean, she wouldn't transfer me, and she sat there, and I don't know. Maybe I had to go get counseling afterwards. I don't know. It was the weirdest, and I got so mad, and then I quit. I canceled the service, and now I'm dealing with this, it was fine. It was very difficult to get up. That's a different story. But it was fine. I've had good customer service the entire time. I've had kind customer service. People that seem to genuinely have good words. And no one got offended. And now I still don't have internet. So I don't know. I feel like sometimes I could just hire carrier pigeons to take my information to the next guy and then bring it back faster. because that's where I am right now. I'm pricing carrier pigeons.
Yeah.
Learning how to do smoke signals from the roof.
Need to be able to open these windows up from up here.
Right?
Yeah, send them
Start
down.
doing some the Morse code out the window or something. Yes, that's how I feel right now. And because I'm a service provider, I still have to look at my clients in the eye and think, I'm here for you.
Yeah.
And you don't care about my problems. And that's fine. They shouldn't have to care about my problems.
Right.
They come in for me to take care of them, not for them to listen to my problems. So I have to keep all that in and put on a happy face and get through my day. Or in this case, month.
So you don't have service right now. They're not rushing up here, 28 floors to come help you out.
No.
And it's been weeks, and like I said, we're a month.
We're on week 4.
Yeah, week 4. That's terrible.
Yes.
You said so by positive customer help, or what do you call it? Customer. I don't even know what to call it. It's supposed to be service, but you're not getting any service.
Not getting service. No.
Not getting service.
Customer counseling, because they get like. They're like, I understand. I had one guy's like, he said, I understand. This is terrible. I have a small business too. I'm thinking, I don't care.
Oh yeah.
Can I use your internet?
Right. Do you use that company or that you work for? Oh, okay, interesting. Mm-hmm. I'm just blown away that why aren't they coming up here and like fixing this if it's been this long? And we're not talking about a small, one-man operation or anything like this.
I mean,
this is a major character.
My bill is $1,000 a month.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's a lot of stuff built into that.
Sure.
That being said, my bill is $1,000 a month. Now, granted, I'm sure major companies much higher bill. That being said, it's not a $30 a month deal.
Right.
I'm paying for a lot of things.
Right.
And I feel like I should be somewhat important enough to at least, fix the problem.
So a company can provide good customer service while not actually providing good service.
Yes.
Is that what you're saying? Okay.
I did not say that. But now that you have said that, yes. Both things are important. You need people that have a strong constitution and cannot get upset when you ask to talk to their manager. Mm-hmm. And then you also need people who have the ability to do something. Yeah. And I don't fault the people who have been answering the phone, because they literally are looking at their job description and following those steps and doing what they're supposed to do and doing what they're trained to do and doing what's in their wheelhouse of abilities and what's been granted to them by the company. And it's not enough. However, I don't fault those people. Mm-hmm. It's the company's fault for not having a next escalation.
Sure.
I mean, I can't tell you the number of people who have said, well, we don't normally send technicians out. I said,
what? How do you install your servers and the internet to the house? You don't send anybody out.
So I don't know what the next step is. Before we got on here, I told you I actually had my headset still with me because I was going to sit here on hold because I told the lady I was not getting off the phone and she hung up on me. Now, probably disconnected. I'm going to go with probably. I'm going to give her the benefit. Her name was Sarah. She was nice. Give her the benefit of the doubt that maybe it wasn't on purpose, that she went to hit mute and accidentally hit disconnect, but because, well, I have no way of calling her back. I don't know. But it is what it is.
Yeah.
It is. It's something. I don't know what it is, but it is. It's definitely.
So, I mean, like I said, this is a major carrier. So, obviously, you're not the first person that's going to run into this. But surely you're not the only person out of their entire service that's dealing with this. And they don't normally send out service technicians, that's the strangest thing I've ever heard from an internet company.
Right? I know. I mean, they're like, well, we send out new equipment. I'm like, I've got a new router.
Okay.
You've already done that. I've gone through 3 SIM cards and 2 routers, and nothing is fixing the problem. I can log in and see the router. I can do all of the things except access the internet.
That's crazy.
It is. And it's obviously a problem somewhere with their things because everything is working except the internet.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. And I had one lady one time and she's like, well, there's no service outages in your area. I said, I hear you. I am not trying to say that there's a service outage in my area. I'm glad everyone else is fine. I'm not.
Yeah.
And it's hard to maintain a professional attitude when you're getting so frustrated because you're getting this from all angles and it's affecting your business. And as an entrepreneur, this is my baby.
Yes.
And we talked one time about, calling your baby ugly. They've grounded my baby.
Yeah.
They put my baby in jail.
Yeah.
So it's very frustrating.
Yeah, for sure. Not being able to, well, number one, bill clients or take money for them.
Well, it's also affecting my reputation.
Sure.
Because I'm not able to get phone calls. People are calling. I don't know where the phone calls are going, but they're not going to me.
Oh, gosh.
And so I don't get phone calls. I can't return messages. I got some people have my personal cell phone, and they're able to contact me, but that's it. And this company is not taking that into consideration. They're just like, well, we'll get to that. Or it's fine. I love it. Unplug it and plug it back in. I'm like, I told this lady on the phone today, I'm like, I am not going to do it.
Tell you to hold and
not doing that again. Nope. Not
That's
happening.
insane.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm sorry you're going through this.
Yeah.
So.
It is what it is. Like I said, I can't get mad and scream and yell and punch walls and have it change my outcome at all.
Right.
So I have to figure out how to channel that. I did yoga last night. Poor lady. She's like, "You're looking very intense." I just growled at her. Leave me alone. I'm going to do my down dog. Arr!
Yeah.
So I was more like a down junkyard dog, but tried to find a little piece there.
For sure.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So what's the next steps? What are you going to do?
I'm going to finish this podcast and go get back on the phone, I guess.
Okay.
I don't know what else to do because, at some point I'm going to have to start seeing clients again, which means I'm down for the rest of the day.
So what is sitting on the phone? What does that added up for you at all? Have you gotten any progress made at all? No. Okay.
Well, I mean, I've gotten a new router and a couple of new SIM cards and lost a lot of business because I cleared at two different times. I cleared my schedule of clients in order to sit on the phone. And one day I hired someone to come in and sit on the phone. So that's 3 full days of making money because I'm trying to get this taken care of. I only have 30 minutes or so between clients, and my clients are what makes the money. Mm-hmm. So I have to see clients in order to have an income in order to be able to pay for things. So I can't just keep canceling my business and shutting it down for that.
No.
So, yeah, I mean, there's been thousands of dollars lost.
Wow.
Frustrating.
That is, yeah. I mean, that's, to say the least, of course.
Well, and even in the podcast, people have been using the podcast room, and normally the podcast episodes will automatically render and upload into the cloud. Then you can take care of them. You've had to come in and manually pull them off the computer. Luckily, that is a possibility.
Yeah.
But again, that's limping along. We're able to limp along and move forward-ish. So we're not completely dead in the water, but we are definitely, lacking an oar and leak in taking on water.
Boat is filling up fast. Yeah,
yes.
For sure. Well, I just thought it'd be a good lesson, for other business owners out there, to come across something like this.
Yeah.
It's like, well, if you're also suffering from this, you're not the only one. And also, these kinds of things can happen. Yeah, even in today, when everything is so, everything we do revolves around digital something in one way or another of using the internet. And these companies that are providing that service for you to be able to do those things don't always care or provide the service they should.
So upside, because I do have a technical background, I do have some backup plans in place. They are not by any means efficient, but I can go home, and because a lot of my systems are cloud-based, I can log in from my home internet and get some things taken care of. I still have when they don't turn my cell phone off, I still have that, and I can text. I can do some things. And then one of the other businesses in the building that are close allows me to jump on their Wi-Fi and do some things. So I can validate the parking. It's very slow because we're going through a lot of concrete, but I can limp through. So I haven't had to completely shut down, but it's definitely increased my stress level.
Yeah. Oh, I believe that. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, like for us, with that, everything we do is online. You know what I mean? If it happened to us, of course we can jump around to coffee shop, whatever. We need to do. Even if it was shut down at home. So we're pretty mobile. But I've got I have contingencies, I guess you'd say, in place in case we do. It's like, okay, if we're at the hub and the internet goes down there, I know exactly where to go so that we can go get internet.
Right.
Or we can split up, go home, or whatever we need to do. But also, if my computer goes down and I can't operate on that computer, I've already got I've got a computer at home that I can use when it's getting fixed, because that's happened to me before.
Well, and I mean I think that's the takeaway, is that having backup plans available to you, already knowing what your contingency plan is going to be. So you've got extra computers. I have a lot of my programs installed on my home computer as well. So I can go home and I can do those things, or I could take that laptop to another place that has, I mean, if the whole city goes down, well, that's a bigger problem. But if it's just me or just my building or something, I do have some things I can run square from home, or I can do a lot of different things that allow me to limp along.
Yeah.
But I never intended it to last a month. So it's been challenging.
Yeah. No, I'm sure it is. And so, I guess good practice or to test yourself on it and, be like, what would I need to do to prepare? What are the major things that you use every day for your business? And then make a backup plan for each one of those things.
Right. If you're selling products, can you take credit cards?
Yeah.
If you have a digital inventory management system, do you have a paper backup plan in case something does happen? Do you have a backup form of communication, a backup cell phone, a backup phone number, a backup something? A lot of times people can forward their numbers to other numbers. So if there was, I keep thinking it'll go away and it's will be solved, but I could technically take my phone number and have it forwarded to my cell phone set outside of the digital network. Yeah. It's a process, but I keep thinking it'll go away, but it hasn't yet, so wishful thinking. But, having those things of what all do I need to get through a day and what's my backup plan to do it.
Right. All right.
And, something like coffee or chocolate or whatever gives you a little comfort in the world, and give yourself
hang on to it for dear life.
5 minutes alone with that, and just to keep yourself sane. Do the yoga. Let your instructor know ahead of time that you are going to be a junkyard dog, and get through the yoga. Sometimes you just need to take the. That's a thing that some entrepreneurs have trouble with, is they get stuck in the vortex of all these different problems, and they don't make time to step back and give themselves a breather. Now, I'm not saying go on vacation, but definitely find 5 minutes where you can clear your mind for 5 seconds, even if you're going right back into the madness, be able to down that just for a minute so that you can then come back fresh.
That's what I've been doing in the gym. So I got my gym membership back up and going and stuff, and I've been going for over a month now. And so like almost every day going in there, because I'll sit at my computer and I'll run into. Eventually, there's going to be somebody that asks me for something, and then I try to figure it out, and it's just so confused. You know what I mean? Then, it just hurts my head, and I'm like, I know I can solve this. But then I have to just okay, you need to just stand up, go to the gym, go work out for a while, and then it helps, and I feel so much better after I'm done, and then I get to come back, and then just breathe, and I'm like, oh, okay, click, done. All right, good.
I normally listen to podcasts when I'm driving in, and I've had to literally go in driving quiet. That's the only time I can quiet the noise, because when I'm here, granted, I'm not getting the noise of the internet and the things that I need, but I'm getting the noise of everything demanding that. Yeah. Everything that I in order to order supplies, I need to go online and order supplies in order to So the one thing, here's a piece of advice. If you have employees, the one thing that you need to make the most important thing is don't mess with their pay. So that has been something, it happened to me before I opened my own business. I worked for people that that didn't prioritize that. I mean, I always got paid, but it wasn't always on time. And, some people are expecting that check on a certain date. So that's my pet peeve with employers. And I tell my people, contractors or not, I'm like, I will pay you. And I will pay my contractors, I'll pay my employees before I pay rent. I will, and then I'll fire them because I obviously have trouble paying rent. But I will do that. And I couldn't access QuickBooks. So I couldn't pay.
Oh, that's true.
So I'm handing out cash because I'm sorry, this is what I got.
Here's lunch money for today.
Right. Yeah, I know. I literally had to cash app one girl because I'm like, I can't send you a check. I can't do the thing. How do you want money? How do you want me to hand you some dollars? Do you want me to write you a paper check? I just can't do the digital part right now. And I felt terrible.
Yeah.
Now, granted, they were fine. Oh no, it's not a big deal, bye, and that's great. But to me, it is a big deal. It is a big deal to not fulfill those obligations to these people, because I am affecting their livelihood.
Right.
And maybe it's only, I have one girl. She makes $150 a week. She comes in a couple hours and that's it. And that's not a whole lot of money.
Yeah.
but it might be to her. And it's not my business whether it is or isn't. She's expecting that on a certain day. I owe her that. That's an obligation. And I needed to fulfill that. So I had that extra stress of having to worry about getting her that money because I couldn't have a check sent. Like normally it was direct deposit, actually. I would go in QuickBooks, I enter the thing, it direct deposits, everything's fine. But yeah, it's just like another paid period coming up here, so it's
great. And then when you have internet back and you have access to that, now you're going to have to make all those corrections on QuickBooks.
Yes, and I am spending all kinds of time just trying, like the last week when I had internet, I was catching up on my billing, catching up on invoicing, catching up on all of the things, I had to do attendance for school. I had to do all these things that I normally do on a daily basis. I had to catch all of that up before I could even think about getting ahead, which was my goal. And now I'm back behind again. So this is what crazy going insane Jessica looks like.
You look pretty calm.
Well, I'm like a duck in the water, except I'm like, but if you look underneath the water, my feet are like zombie feet. They're like crawling all crazy, like, it's not pretty. Yes, it's really. So anyhow, I'll update you as things happen. And right now, I have no idea. At least, I don't know. I'm just day by day. I'm trying to take it minute by minute because if I step back and look at the big picture, I start getting overwhelmed again. Yeah. Because it is a lot. But in this moment, I'm sitting here and I've got this. We did the thing. Have I recorded since I did this?
Yeah.
Okay. Anyways, I did this and that was nice. And
it looks nice.
All the little things and the wrinkles are gone. And this is a nice room. There's nothing stressful about this room right now. So I think I may stay here.
Just lock yourself in. Okay. So, anything else you want to add to this? Or get off chest? Yeah.
So, because Jessica's first rant, or I don't know how many. Have I ranted before?
Rant. Yeah, this would be the thumbnail where the fires come out of your eyes.
I guess the takeaway is have a backup plan.
Yeah.
And that is a very good thing for any size business to do, is to look at what your dailies look like and think about. You don't have to necessarily, cause my husband works for a company that is required to have, by the government, required to have internet access in order for them to operate. Wow. So they have to run dual internet. It's a multi-billion-dollar company. They have to run dual internet. So they've got two different providers in case one goes down. I can't afford that. My business isn't that big.
Right.
So that is not my backup plan. So just because it is a backup plan does not mean it's a sound backup plan. Your backup plan for that same scenario is to go to another coffee shop or go to another location. So as a business owner, look at what your options are, but find one that fits you financially and find one that fits your situation. I don't have the ability to just leave and go to Starbucks or wherever to get some internet in order to do what I need to do. I have to stay here where my clients are because it is an in-house service. So looking at what your business needs to operate minimally, how to do it efficiently, that you can do if something should go down, for sure.
Yep. That's really good advice. Yeah, for sure. If you are an audio listener, you can also find us on YouTube. Search for the Healthy Business Podcast. If you're a video watcher and you're seeing this, and you see the fire coming out of Jessica's eyes right now, yes, laser beams.
That's what I want. I want laser beams.
Yeah, laser beams. I imagine the duck, and then like it's a kraken underneath.
Yes.
Yeah. So, if you're a video watcher, you can find us on all your podcast catching apps across the world. But we're really gonna start trying to hone in on this Spotify stuff. You know what I mean? There's a lot of extra features there, and I know that's like the number one, podcasting app that people use. But whatever you prefer to listen on, you can find us there as well. Send us some comments. Tell us what you think about the show. If you have any questions,
push the Spotify button.
Yes.
Like, share.
Yes. Rate us. Subscribe to us, and like us.
Interact somehow. Yeah.
Share us, and send questions in. What subjects that you want to hear about? Yeah, those are good 100%. Too. Yeah, for sure. Until next time, you want to say bye?
Bye.
And keep your business healthy.